Well, here we have Combat Putin the Cat, right next to my my Ruger Black Hawk, Red Hawk holster, my PT gear, and my desert boots. Right? Is that where you like to sleep, in the combat gear? You get some deuce gear for cats too. Is that what we got? Funny guy. Well, here's your hot tip: $10 item that can improve the hell out of any rifle and vastly increase your shooting accuracy. This, the lowly sling. A sling. It's not even $10. I mean, maybe it's $10, maybe it's $5. You know, it depends on where you get it. This is one used for like the AR-15, M16, but it works fine. This is on an M1 Garand, and you can use the sling in various shooting positions, whether it's offhand or if you're in a kneeling position. And I know that stuff you're talking about with the KD, the known distance course, and things like that when you're shooting on for marksmanship, for qualification. But it comes in handy for many things, because you could have this sling, not necessarily, you're not talking like you're going to have the sling like at shoulder arms, the weapon upright, walking around with it. But say you're walking through like a, I don't even want to use this stuff, these words like tactical environment, right? Whatever. I'm not going to even play this game, okay? But I'm just telling you that, say you're walking through an area, you can have this weapon pointed down in your arm, around like this, and wrapped and looped around like this. See? Now, you are actually in a tripod locked in position when you have your arm like this, because your elbow will be up against your chest and the butt of the rifle will be into your shoulder. You will be much, much, much more accurate and stable, including on your follow-up shots. To me, I got this. I got a sling on everything I have. Bolt action, lever action, I don't give a damn. A slide action, pump action. I got a sling on everything. It's kind of weird that nobody mentions this stuff, man. I don't understand why. Now, I'm going to tell you some old school stuff, because this is the, this is the M1 Garand, right? The 30-06, the one they carried in World War II. The one they hit the beaches with when they done D-Day against the Nazis and all that type of stuff, right? This is the one that saw the American troops through World War II. I'm going to tell you that this weapon, all the way up through easily in the 60s and even into the 70s, was considered the number one weapon by any of the old school people that were really into rifles. Kind of going along on this, besides your tip here, it's there's a lot of ways you can use this sling, but I just want to tell you that people are the reason I'm bringing up this point is people are too much in with gimmicks. And I know a lot of stuff does work. I mean, it's cool to have a scope on something along with your iron sights, but you definitely don't want to get rid of your iron sights. Actually this sling gives more stability to this weapon than a pistol grip or like a forward pistol grip, in my opinion. Okay? Depending on how you use it. That's how I think of it anyway. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but to me, it locks the weapon seems to be locked into position, because your elbow, this elbow, goes up against your body, and it's like, even if it's not into your shoulder, and you're firing from like the hip position or something, this will, you still have it locked in more of a like a tripod with this sling, because of the way you wrap your arm around this way. Okay? Just like that. And you can do that with anything. I mean, I have no problem using a bolt action, a slide action, or lever action, or any semi-automatic. $10. Who the hell freaking uses them, though? Nobody, right? I don't understand it. Nobody. Now, I haven't really been playing around. I haven't been doing a lot of shooting. I haven't been doing shooting for years, but I used to do a lot in the military, not due to the military, but on my own with the range officers and shit like that. And we used to go out and do all these. I mean, I trained a lot. I actually trained a lot. I mean, I freaking learned a lot of stuff, man. I did it on my own. It cost me my own money and all that other crap. But you know, I'm gonna tell you again, getting back to this weapon, just as a side note, and this is kind of like, just keep this in mind when you're thinking about all these new things that come out. Like, oh, you gotta have this is the latest, greatest. For many, many, many years, even well into the 70s, this was considered the #1 weapon by anybody that was really knowledgeable in firearms. You know, people would even they wouldn't say it was the AR-15 M16 platform. Nah, it was this. And they didn't even like the 308 Winchester known as the 7.62 by 51 NATO, whatever the hell it is. They didn't like that either. They liked the 30-06. That's the old boys, man. And it's like, you know, whatever floats your boat, man. You know what I mean? It's like, but this thing works good too. It's pretty heavy, but it kicks. It's got 8 shots in it, and when it fires off the last shot, the magazine injects out the top. It's got like a a clip. And you can load it in really fast. Safety's over here. If you press it forward, that's off safe. I already safety checked it. You know, boom. There you go. Right. Got your cleaning kit and the buttstock. You got your bayonet on there. You're all set, man. This is a real weapon. No plastic. It's wood and steel and no polymer. I got to throw that in there because, you know, the more gimmick. See, the reason I'm bringing up this thing about the sling and I'm telling you this other stuff about the M1 Garand, because sometimes the simplest old school shit is actually the best stuff going, and everybody's ignoring it. And I think I could tell. Maybe I don't know if I'm going to bring out. I'm afraid to say a lot of. Like, I know a lot of little stupid things that are pretty damn good on weapons, but I don't want to actually put out a lot of information. Because I don't know who the hell I'm telling it to. That's one thing. But this is a handy tip. Because, say for instance, like you're in a position and, you know, like the enemy is coming at you or some way in some area or whatever, you know. I just don't want to be saying that because, you know, in reality, most people aren't thinking of that way. But say you're just hunting and you're up in a tree stand. This thing will give you a lot more stability. This sling. A lot more. It's better than resting the weapon on a log or some bullshit like that because, you know, that actually changes the point of impact when you're doing a tripod or anything, or a bipod, you know. This won't change your point of impact when you got this because it just, you know, whatever you were set up with the rocking motion of your body when the weapon went off, it's not going to affect it. It's just going to be a lot more steady. And if you're tired of holding a weapon, you can really droop this around. You're really loose. Have it over your shoulder. Have the weapon down by your waist. And you can still bring it up to the ready real quick. And you won't have to be carrying that weight in your hands as long, too. And some people will say, you know, I mean, not talking about putting this around your shoulder, but around, like over where you're having it slung low. And you would actually have this going from the top, the sling maybe from the top, a little more from the side. But still, you know, you can bring it up to the ready real quick. And that cuts down on the fatigue when you're walking with this thing for 8 million miles, right? You know, if that's the case. So, just want to tell you, like, I brought this M1 Garand out because many times old school technology kicks ass, and when everybody's trying to sell you something brand new, you know, laser this and that, and pistol grips in the front and the back and the side, and all this bullshit. This sling for $10 or $7 is your #1 damn thing you should actually get on. I got this on every weapon. I don't care if it's a lever action, a bolt action, a slide action. I don't give a shit. That's on every weapon. A sling. And most of my weapons are very plain Jane. I don't have any tactical shit on anything, man. I got scopes with iron sights on some. That's about it. I mean, I got iron sights on all of them, but some have a scope and an iron sight. No bells and whistles. Pure, just the way the damn. I only get weapons that are proven designs, like this thing, M1 Garand. Hey, man, ask General Patton. If you could ask him, he'll tell you this is the best weapon. Not anything which made out of plastic today, right? It would be this, wood and steel.